Did you know the average person makes 6 excuses per day for not doing something? That equates to over 2,000 excuses per year. Now I see that as 2,000 missed opportunities for why we're not doing something that we should be doing. So today I want to talk to you about these 3 excuses that we tell ourselves of why we are not doing something, what's causing these excuses to come about, and these are focused around fears that we all have. Then I'll talk a little bit about mindset, and then I'll close with 3 simple things that you can do so that you can prevent and stop these excuses from illuminating your potential, preventing you from being the best leader that you can be, and living your best life. So the 3 excuses that I want to talk to you about first is we all tell ourselves that we don't have enough time. Well, we all get the same 24 hours in a day, but for some reason, that time flies by so quickly and we don't have enough time to do the things that we need to be doing. The second is we have not enough money. We tell ourselves that. We don't have enough money to set up the programs that we need to do from a leadership perspective, or we don't have enough money in the budget to hire that next person for that role. Whatever it is, we don't have enough money, we don't have enough time. And then thirdly, we don't know, or I don't know, or I don't have the resources, I don't have the information. So those are the 3 common excuses that we tell ourselves. Not enough money, not enough time, or not enough information, or I don't know how to do something. Now, these excuses come from fear. Yes, we all have fears that prevent us from being the best leaders that we can be. Now, for you, that may be one of these 3 fears. The first is that fear of failure. Now, oftentimes, we compare ourselves to other individuals, and that's what causes that fear of failure. We want to be perfect. So that fear of failure, you're comparing yourselves. Wanting to be perfect is the second fear, is that fear of rejection. But let's go back to the first one, that fear of failure. Comparing yourself to someone else. Now, there may be another leader or another manager, another supervisor, or another just individual who is better at something than you are because they have much more experience. And that's okay. They're supposed to have more experience, and so therefore, they're supposed to be better at something. But one of the things I want you to think about is, what is that special skill set or that special knowledge that you have that no one else has? We don't think about that. So we allow that fear of failure to get in the way. Now, the second fear that was just mentioned was that fear of rejection. That's because we want to be perfect. We want to make sure that everything is just right before we take that next level. Every dot, every I, cross every T. You can't apply for that next position because you've got to get everything just right. So that fear of rejection prevents you from going to the next step. It prevents you from being a better leader because you're, again, comparing yourself to other people. You're trying to make everything perfect. And then the third fear, I call that self-sabotage. But that is the fear of I'm not good enough. So you've looked at all those other fears and then you finally said, well, I'm just not good enough. I don't have enough knowledge. I don't have enough information. I'm not the perfect person for this. Maybe it's not the right time, whatever it is. But that fear of I'm not good enough prevents you from being the best leader, from being the best entrepreneur. Maybe you work for a nonprofit, whatever that is. Those fears prevent you from being your best. Don't allow perfection to get in the way of being a good leader. You see, success is a choice, and we all have to decide which path we want to take. So stop comparing yourself to other people. Stop trying to be perfect, and stop thinking that you're not good enough because you are. You are good enough. So I'll tell you a short story. I worked in corporate America for 27 and a half years. And on December the 5th, 2014, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And at that very moment, those fears started to set in. But also at that very moment, as I tell people, I felt blessed with breast cancer because I quickly realized that all those fears that I had as a leader, those fears of applying for that next level position, those fears of speaking up in a meeting where I thought that maybe my voice was not going to be heard, those fears kind of went away. I started to look at life very differently. I put things in a different perspective. Now, you may not have gone through breast cancer. Maybe someone in your family has. Maybe someone's gone through cancer. Maybe someone is dealing with COVID right now. Whatever it is, but some type of illness or some type of life-changing event. Maybe that's impacted you or someone that you know, a friend or a close loved one. And it allows you to think differently. Experiencing that taught me one thing, is that I am good enough. It taught me that I needed to stop making excuses for why I wasn't doing things as a leader. It made me look at life differently, that I didn't always have to look at resources. There were other things that I could do for my staff, my employees, that didn't require money. And it also allowed me to look at resources very differently. So it put life in a different perspective for me as a leader, but also as an individual. So don't allow a tragedy to come into your life so that you have to make changes. You stop making excuses. Because see, this is all stemmed around our mind. So what mindset are you in? There's 3 areas of the mindset that I want to share with you that I think are very important and that helped me as a leader. The first is, I call it the comfort zone. So there's 3 zones: the comfort zone, the learning zone, and the growth zone. So let's talk about the comfort zone first. Learn and adjust to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Now you'll probably say, yeah, that's a cliche. I've heard it before. Well, you probably have, but it is true. When you become uncomfortable, then you start to stretch. You start to open up a little bit more. Your mindset changes and you allow new information to come in. You become more receptive to new information, new changes, and it's okay. And as you do that, you go into what I call the learning zone. You start to learn new things. You start to accept new things, new beliefs, new values come into your play. So you're learning new things. You're connecting with new individuals, more individuals like-minded as you. Maybe you connect with someone who's going to be a mentor for you if you're trying to get to another position in the organization. But you need to become uncomfortable and become comfortable being uncomfortable. But then you need to get into that learning zone, which will then put you into the 3rd area, which is that growth zone. And as you start to learn and develop, you will grow. And that's where it becomes so much fun, because knowledge is power. Now, you may feel like you need to educate yourself more professionally or going back to school, whatever it may be, maybe taking some leadership courses, but you want to develop and grow as a leader so that you can be the best for your teams, for your organization, and most importantly, be the best leader for yourself. Be the best leader for yourself. So get rid of those excuses, because it's preventing you from taking that next level. And as you get rid of those excuses, those fears will also go away. You will no longer have those. You don't have to worry about any of that. But you've got to become comfortable being uncomfortable and stretch yourself. Because success is a choice. You can choose which lane you want to be in, the successful lane or the not so successful lane, but success is a choice. So I'll close with this statement. There's 3 areas or 3 things that you can do, or basically 3 letters that you can use, but whatever it is, a set of 3 that will help you when you're faced with challenges, fears, excuses start to pop in your head. And I call it BET, bet on yourself. B stands for belief. Believe in yourself. Know that you have the knowledge, you have the power, you have the skill set. You're just as good as that next person to be the best leader that you can be. You're just as good as that next person to apply for that job. Just as good. So bet on yourself. E is for have the energy and the excitement. If you're not excited about change, then no one else is. Be excited about what's changing for you so that you can be the best leader. And then T is to take action. Take action. A hope with no action. A dream with no action is just a hope. So take action, take charge, be accountable, be intentional, be the best leader that you can be, and remove those excuses so that you can, as a leader, illuminate your potential in leadership. Be the best leader that you can be for yourself, your department, your team, and your organization. My name is Dr. Linda Jordan. Thank you so much.